All right, J.W. Oker here. I am in the Berkshires of Western Massachusetts, sitting on a bench in a pleasant little park in a pleasant little town of Sheffield. Let me show you. Now, you might be thinking that this is kind of a bland spot for an Otis Odd Things I've Seen video, but that's only because I haven't shown you the coolest thing about this park, which is right behind me. Let's go see it. So that on the back of this monument, this 6-foot tall granite monument, is the state seal of Massachusetts. And that's relevant because on the front is a plaque bearing the signatures of Charles Baker, the governor of Massachusetts, at least in 2015. I have no clue who it is now, and Karen Polito, the lieutenant governor. But this plaque basically states that it confers a governor's citation in recognition of the off-world incident. The off-world incident. So, what is an off-world incident, and why is it being commemorated with a 6-foot tall piece of granite in a park in the Berkshires? Let me tell you the story. It was September 1st, 1969. The Reed family, 9-year-old Thomas Reed, his little brother Matthew, their mother Nancy, and their grandmother Marion were coming home one night when right around this spot, right where this park is, maybe 300 yards away, they saw a bright white light in the sky. And then their ears started going funny, like the pressure was changing. And then suddenly that light grew, enveloped them, and then they weren't in their car anymore. Nor were they in Sheffield. It didn't seem like they were anywhere on the planet, actually. They found themselves in a massive room, kind of like an airplane hangar. And around them were insect-like humanoids, aliens. The Reeds were having a close encounter of the fourth kind. And they were having this close encounter of the fourth kind, possibly nowhere near the Earth. Their recollection of the event is obviously confused and ambiguous, but eventually they found themselves back in their car, right here where I'm standing, but turned and facing the wrong direction. So they turned the car around, went home. A few days later, they would learn that some 40 people had reported seeing a strange light in the sky above Sheffield, which would turn their story from a Reed family secret into a local town event. And that's why 45 years later, in 2015, the local historic society would put up a monument to this event in the annals of Sheffield. This off-world event in the annals of Sheffield. Now, this memorial was and is controversial in the town. Obviously, some people don't like being associated with weird stuff like that. Others find it distasteful to, you know, elevate something to the level of monument status, like they would, say, a World War II veteran memorial. Nevertheless, it's here. It was actually vandalized a few days after it was unveiled. Somebody spray painted all over it. But I guess that's been repaired. Pictures I've seen, it was they actually had to repaint the whole thing black, which you can kind of see at the bottom there. but that made the whole thing look ominous and 2001-like, very monolithic. So I guess it's back to bright white and welcoming. Now, this was the bench I was sitting on at the beginning of the video. If you'll notice the plaque, it says it was sponsored by the International UFO Museum of Roswell, New Mexico, a site I've always wanted to go to and have not been to yet, and Thomas Reed himself, the 9-year-old boy who was in the car. There used to be a second bench here as well. This one's sponsored by a host of a paranormal show called Fact or Faked, but also Travis Walton, the famous alien abductee whose story would go on to be told in movie form as Fire in the Sky with Robert Patrick and W.B. Sweeney. Pretty sure the bench was right here, especially since there's a chain on the ground, and it's the same kind of chain that I guess is keeping people from stealing this bench too, because I guess people steal benches in UFO parks. But that's what I got for you. I got for you a UFO monument park commemorating an event 50 years ago where a family might have been taken to a place not of this earth. Odd Things I've Seen. Definitely. in recognition of this off-world incident. I love this kind of stuff.